Hello, welcome back, guys. So you may have heard that Terra Luna has crashed to the ground. It actually lost 99.99 or something of its value. It is revealing to see that $1 million invested in Luna last week would be worth $3 today. And you can find potential supposed reasons really why the Luna actually fell down like a rock really. And the reason for this, the main reason for this supposedly is the fact that it was tethered to a stable coin. And stable coins are like coins, crypto coins that are supposedly trying to track the value of something that is steady, of another asset that is steady, like for example the US dollar. Now, this happened in this case because the value of Terra Luna was tethered to Terra USD, and this Terra USD was actually linked to an Anchor protocol, which was paying 20% rate of interest. And as you can understand, this is definitely not sustainable. It's thin air, pretty much. And as you can see, eventually, at some point, this kind of thing will crash. And with huge number of people trying to dump their Terra USD and Luna simultaneously, the mechanism designed to guarantee stable rates simply stopped functioning. And so by Friday 13 May, the price of Luna had fallen below 1 cent. Absolutely insane. Now, I wanted to make this video as sort of like a warning, and I have talked about this concept many times in the past in my videos. And I really wanted to make a video today in order to talk about it again and in a little bit more detail, because it is important to understand what's happening with cryptocurrencies, especially for people who are not seasoned investors, and they may not understand the differences between owning crypto and owning a stock. And you may have been watching all sorts of YouTube channels trying to pump up different crypto coins because this coin is working on this supposed thing, or they're gonna be better than another coin, and they're suddenly going to be used all over the place, and things of that sort, which don't really make sense. And practically speaking, they don't add any actual value to any of these coins. And so even if you are holding Bitcoin, you have to be extremely careful here. Yes, this one is the most famous out of all these, but what you want to be asking yourselves, what is the value that Bitcoin provides, is the question. Do you see it used around you a lot? Do you see people paying with Bitcoin around you in the real economy? It's almost, for the most part, it's almost used for some minor purchases right now. And all of these coins after that have actually taken advantage of this opportunity and have increased their prices through the months and through the years, really. But there is a very important concept when we're talking about crypto and stock. Take a look at, for example, Ethereum here. You will see that their market cap is $238 billion here. And this market cap is actually a measure of the amount of crypto that exists, or the amount of the Ethereum, the supply pretty much, multiplied by the price of one Ethereum. And so this is how much the company is pretty much worth in the market landscape for the most part. Now, if you take a look at a company, for example, Apple here, you will see that this one is a $2.2 trillion company right now, which is more expensive, of course, even than Bitcoin, as you'll see. But there's a very important difference here, a massively important difference. Take a look at the max chart for Apple here. You will see that Apple has been growing tremendously through the years. And if you take a look at a crypto like Ethereum, you will kind of see the same picture here. You will see that it has been growing very nicely through the years, although we have much less data, less years, but still, it has been growing nicely. There is a very important distinction here, though. If you take a look at a company like Apple, you can actually go to our financial statements here and see what the company has been doing through the years. This is all public data. And for example, in 2017, the company had 229 billion in sales, and in 2021, 365 billion. And then if you go lower, you will see profit of 48 billion in 2017 and profit of 94.68 billion from the real economy, that is. Okay, let's try to find that for Ethereum. Where is that? Well, there is nothing like that for a crypto coin in the crypto market. This is just as much as people are willing to pay for this thing. And you may be saying, but isn't everything governed by the rule of supply and demand? Well, yes, But the thing is, in order to create demand for something, it has to have some sort of use in the real economy, or, which is very, very important, there have to be people willing to buy it for no real reason, which is similar to what happened with the tulip mania. We have talked about that. People were buying tulips at insane prices for no real reason, just because there was hype around tulips. And a similar story happens with crypto. There is no real use right now in the economy, and it still goes up and down a lot, and people are willing to buy because they think that they will be making more money than what they actually spent in order to buy this one. And the same story goes with a stock like Apple. If you're buying Apple, you want to be making more money, right? There's a very, very important difference though. Apple is actually productive in the real economy. It produces services and products that people are actually using. And so through the years, they're going to be increasing their financial assets. They're going to be increasing their balance sheet, for example. They're going to be increasing the amount of buildings that they have, the amount of cash that they have. They're going to be increasing their employees and the productivity that they get out of this. There's nothing of that sort with cryptocurrency. It is just thin air. And so another important distinction here, if you take a look at a company like Apple, this is a public company that is governed and has rules that is provided by the SEC and the government itself. And so, for instance, you can take a look at the SEC filings here, which are public and available to everybody, you and me, you and I, and everybody really. And so if you take a look at the 10Q, for example, you can open this up and read exactly what Apple has been generating, has been doing in terms of their financials, which is not something that you can do in any crypto because they don't generate any wealth. They are just there and ready to be bought and sold by anybody. It is just a trading vehicle that doesn't generate anything. And even commodities are much, much better to hold than a crypto coin because they have a use in the real economy. They don't produce income is the problem. Like, for example, gold doesn't produce income if you are holding gold, but it still has its use. You can create jewelry, for example, or in some situations it could be tethered to an actual economy, as it was in the old days, the rule of the gold, pretty much. And so I wanted to make this video sort of like a warning and kind of explain what is the main, a core difference of holding a company, a stock like Apple and a crypto coin, because you may have seen in some videos people talking about crypto and stocks having the same risk, and it's nowhere near that. If you are holding Apple stock, you are an owner of Apple, you are a partial owner, and so you actually own the company and its assets, and the assets that the company generates in the future is also where you have a percentage of these assets as well. And you could say the same thing about Ethereum, for example, but Ethereum doesn't generate anything. Ethereum is exactly the same thing it was back in 2016 when it was trading for like $0.5. There's no difference. It's exactly the same thing. The only thing that has changed is how much people are willing to pay for it. And that's a recipe of failure. That's a recipe of losing money if you buy high and then, you know, hype dissipates and then you are entering this phase when the price of the asset is going to be going lower and lower because there is nothing backing it up. And you can have companies going lower, like us stocks here, going 30% down. But this has to do with market sentiment and it's always temporary. And if the company has great financial metrics and it's cheap, it will eventually come back to normal. And so it will go up a lot. But the same thing is very, very unlikely to happen with Luna. Its crash to the ground is like 1 cent. It will need millions of percents to go back where it was, and it will more than likely just vanish. And new cryptos are gonna be created, and the same story will keep on happening because that's how the whole thing works. It's almost like a scam, if not an actual scam, really. And I do understand there are some crypto that have some potentially good ideas, but before that happens right now, we're talking about assets that are moving just because there's supply and demand and no real utility behind those assets. So I wanted to make again this video because I thought it would be interesting to discuss these concepts and maybe help people who are willing to buy into all sorts of crypto. Please be careful and know that you are buying a lottery ticket, you are buying the potential of somebody else maybe buying your asset at a higher price from you, but you shouldn't expect that because there is nothing that is productive in the crypto that you are buying. And don't fool yourselves with all these YouTubers telling you that, again, this company is creating NFTs, this crypto is creating NFTs, and they are working on these NFTs, and they are providing interest payments and things of that sort. This is just nonsense. I mean, this is intangible stuff that don't have a real utility in the economy, and so you can actually lose a lot of money by supposedly investing. It's not real investing in these things, basically buying these things and waiting for the next person to sell them to. So be careful. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please remember to like and subscribe, and tell me what you think about crypto as well. I really needed to make a video, because if I can save a person from losing a lot of money, that's gonna be a good thing. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.